Hey there, back for some more dating advice. I think it's such a huge decision on who to spend time with, who to spend your life with, possibly, that it requires, especially at a young age, what I would do differently or what I would do the same, some new perspectives. I'm even bringing in a lending perspective I've been involved with for 30 years and applying that to some dating scenarios. I think there's a lot of value in taking your time and being cautious and proving yourself. So basically, what's the highest and best use of your time and talents? And I'm going to relate that to some things that even appraisers look at before we make a loan, before a loan is made. But first, I wanted to talk about some very interesting insights from a male divorce attorney. Had been in business for a number of years. A friend sent me these quotes and that was very, very wise, very interesting. A lot of times when you're dating, you don't really know if the young woman you're dating is interested in you or if she just puts you on the list of people to hang out just in case she doesn't have anything to do for the weekend. She wants a free meal, wants to be entertained, and he talks about that. How do you know if a woman has a genuine desire to be with you? And he says here, if a woman has a genuine burning desire for you, she will walk through a minefield in a snowstorm, blindfolded, with your favorite hot meal in a thermal carry bag, and climb through your bedroom window and rip off your clothes. If a woman is lukewarm about you, she will flake on you, make excuses, or make make you jump through hoops to get together. So you know how I feel about premarital sex, but I think the theme of this quote is very important. When I was first dating my wife, I could see her genuine interest. She would bring me stuff at work. She would go out of her way to be together. She would be like, "Hey, I've got to work till 9:30, but hey, let's get together at 10 o'clock at night, even just for an hour." You could see the genuine desire. A lot of times women accept men who are not their top choice. They never really love them. You're a placeholder. You're a just in case person. Make sure the woman you marry or you're thinking about marrying is choosing you as her first place choice and she is not settling on you. You have to find a woman who puts you in first place. Make sure you're the top of the list. Be the best man you can be and stay on the top of her list. Make sure she understands that she recognizes that you are the best man that she can get. If not, move on, be done. Don't settle. So getting back to lending, that's very interesting. So as far as collateral, we've had a lot of appraisers kill deals where, I'm willing to pay $1 million for this property. Appraiser comes back and says, well, based on the homes that I've looked at that have sold over the last 6 months or in the general area that have, 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, a quarter acre, in this subdivision, I think the house is only worth 800,000. Well, it's a benefit to the bank and it's a benefit to you to make sure you're getting what you think you're getting. If it's only worth 800, then that's a good thing. But one of the things they do when they're doing appraisals is they use this highest and best use of the property. And it's defined as the reasonably probable and legal use of vacant land or improved property that is physically possible, appropriately supported, and financially feasible, and that results in the highest value. So there's lots of different pieces of ground. What's the best thing to do with a vacant lot? So, here's 4 tenants. Is it legally permissible? Do you have the zoning laws in place to do what you want to do with the land? Is it physically possible? Are you trying to build on the side of a mountain or in a swamp area? Is it physically possible? Is it financially feasible? According to the demographics or the market, are you going to have people that want to come to your hotel? If your hotel's in the middle of a very difficult rundown part of town that's the crime is very high, they're not going to want to come. So yeah, there's a lot of different pieces of ground. Here's 2 examples. Let's say, for example, I've got a piece of ground that's overlooking the Grand Canyon. And I look, as I buy that ground, or maybe it was gifted to me or whatever, the first thing I'd probably do is, what is it zoned for? Is it zoned for a home, a hotel, or a restaurant? What can I do with this property? If it's zoned for a hotel and I come in and put a mobile home on the property, or worse yet, I don't do anything with the property and I just start letting the city turn it into a dump, have people bring their garbage there, you've gone from improving the property to degrading its value. It would be better if you didn't have anything on the ground, leave it empty, than to put garbage on the land. So another example, this is years ago. I was on the phone with an individual. It was a famous basketball player, and I don't even remember his name. I knew it was part of one of the universities in Utah County. And he had called. He said, "Hey, I've got this piece of ground. It's like 10 acres next to the university. It's got this old dumpy, crappy house on the property. Majority of the land is vacant. It's not being used for anything. A small portion of the property has this house, and it's being rented out. The house might be worth 200,000. Can you refinance my note? I need to get lower terms, better interest rate or whatever." And he said, "Huh, interesting. This is, I'll have to let me look into it." So I called, did some research, talked to some appraisers, like, yeah, I mean, it doesn't work. A lot of these loans that we make, they're packaged together, they're sold on the secondary market, they're packaged as mortgage-backed securities. People can buy these lumped together mortgages, and this one wouldn't fit. Most loans are, on a home that's 3 bedroom and 2 bath, and it's in a subdivision and on a quarter acre. This is totally outside of that. And more importantly, the appraiser would look at it and say, well, the best and highest use of this property would be to knock down that old crappy house and to put up high density housing for students. And that is the best use of this ground, not this old house. We couldn't do it, couldn't do the loan. So your life is like a piece of vacant ground right now. Most of you are just starting out. You have very important decisions to make. What should I do for work? Where should I spend my time? Who should I be involved with in my life? Who should I be dating? Making commitments to young women. These big decisions. Some people feel like, they've got privilege in life. They're given things. Some people feel like they're given this lot, overlooking the Grand Canyon. Some people feel like they're given a lot next to a pig farm. But let me tell you, it's not about what you're given in life. It's what you do with what you're given, the talents that you're given. It's not what God gives you. It's not if you're born into a rich or poor family. It's to take what you're given. A life of privilege does not lead to improvement or becoming a better person. Sometimes being given the pig farm lot is the best thing God could do. You take that and you improve it. So let's look at a couple examples. So this is a property. If you owned this property years ago before it was developed and you had this vision, this is actually Skywalk at Eagle Point. And they took this piece of ground and they improved it. Look, this amazing building that overlooks the Grand Canyon. They could have done a lot of things with it, but they decided to improve this property, and it's serving its highest value. It's doing the best it can. Just to read from their website, one of the world's most thrilling cantilever glass bridges is at Grand Canyon West. You can step out on the 10-foot wide horseshoe-shaped glass bridge extending 70 feet over the rim of the Grand Canyon. If you dare to look down, you'll see breathtaking views 4,000 feet to the canyon floor below. There's simply nothing compared to the feeling of walking on air. There's no need to be nervous. The Skywalk is strong enough to hold 70 fully loaded 747s, which is hard to believe. But anyway, yeah, this piece of ground and this building, amazing. What if you were given let's say these structures here, and it is a big pig farm. You've got thousands and thousands of pigs with these 3 settling ponds that are settling probably waste water. And let's say you're given this piece of ground next to this pig farm. You think, oh man, I was dealt bad cards. I've just got a bad life. What a terrible thing. No, it's just the opposite. What a great thing. What if you took this piece of ground and you brought improvements to it? You did the best thing possible. You brought water, power, sewer to this property, put up a fence, you put in grass, you made this the best it possibly could. And guess what happens? One of 2 things will happen. Either maybe this pig farmer goes out of business and he says, you know, I've got to consolidate. I'm selling. I'm getting rid of all my pigs. I'm draining all these waste ponds. Would you like to pick up all of this ground for super cheap? Like, wow, suddenly my lot in life has changed. Or number 2 situation, let's say this big farmer says, hey, I need to expand my operation. I need to pick up your piece of ground and this little piece of ground next to you, and I'm going to give you top dollar. Either way, it's a winning situation for you. Take what you're given and improve upon it. Take the talents and natural abilities you have and improve upon it no matter what you're given. As you improve and value and receive what God gives you, he'll give you more. So another tip in dating, don't be like a desperate car salesman when you're dating. I don't know if you've ever been to a car dealership. It's not pleasant. A lot of times you get attacked by these salesmen, and they're desperate to make a sale because most of the time that's the only way they're paid is the number of cars that they sell. So most of the time it's not about finding you the best car, it's about them and getting a sell. Do you want to have the same kind of approach when it comes to dating? Do you want to look desperate? You want to look like, hey, I'll settle on the first woman I meet? You can't do that. You have to have a life purpose. A woman can't give you a drive or a purpose in life. She is decoration. She is garnish for your life. She's not the purpose of your life. She's not your emotional support. She's not your emotional support dog. You have to have your own dreams. And with those dreams and goals, if she wants to adopt those dreams and purposes, she's welcome to come along. And you will accomplish these things with or without her. It's interesting. I was just talking to my wife last night about some of the people that she dated. She dated a lot of people before we got married, and I met her. And she said she was always very impressed with the young men that had vision, that had drive, that had goals, that had a direction in life, that were going places. And then they weren't waiting around for someone to give them that. They already had that. And she recognized if she was going to go with them, that's what she would take on, those purposes and help and support. But she's in second position. Remember, a woman will always be looking for the best she can get. If you aren't the best man she can get, why not? What do you need to improve so that you are? A woman can either help you build a great life together, a great building and home, or she can destroy your life, make it a toxic waste dump. We talked to a number of people who've been divorced, that their life becomes very, very difficult if they don't make that right decision. So what's the best and highest use of your land? Sit down, think about it, take an assessment. What do I have to offer, young lady? What have I been working on for years, since I've been out of school? What am I currently working on? Do I have money in the bank? Do I have a good job? Do I have skills that are marketable? Can I go anywhere in the country with these skills? There's so many jobs that if you can learn, you can take anywhere in the country. I have a home, or I'm working to buy a home. I'm living at home right now with my parents, but I've got this much money saved, and in the next year, I'm going to put an offer on a house. Do you have a plan? What's the highest and best use of your time right now? Do you have a life plan? There's a great book I just read into that I just finished. I'll put the link to the book in the description field, but yeah, Joy and Purpose, amazing book about life plans, how important a life plan is, how to break it down so you can accomplish so much more having a plan, and then someone is kind of just drifting and floating in life, and the joy and the happiness and satisfaction that comes to your life knowing that you're giving it everything you've got. So, what if your life looks like a nuclear waste dump, like a bomb went off in your life and it's just total disaster? Start with step one. Start with making that plan. Start with reading that book. It is more than worth your time. I would take notes. I would take action. The first step, if you're overweight, start a plan, start a fitness plan. If you don't have any skills, develop some skills. First yet, think about what you enjoy, what you want to accomplish in life. You know, get the good job, do the best you can, improve your lot in life, progress and be the best that you can be. I hope that this helps.